What's up, YouTube? Amethyst Butterfly. You can just call me Amethyst. So, actually, before we get into the topic of discussion, we need to talk about Disney and these games that they're playing. So, for those of you who don't know me, which is going to be pretty much everyone, um, I'm a Disney fan, first and foremost, and one of my top favorite movies is The Lion King. And when I saw this shirt at Walmart, I had to snatch it off the shelf. Now, I picked up my shirt, and I didn't really notice this till just now, but you see you got Mufasa on there, Timon, Pumbaa, Nala, Simba, Zazu, Scar, um, the hyenas. I know their names, don't try to play me, I just don't feel like naming them. And Rafiki. And I'm just like, this is so cool. And then I think about it, I'm like, wait a minute, there's something missing here. Where's Sarabi? Like, Sarabi is my favorite character from the movie. Sarabi, for those of you who don't know, find out the more you know. Sarabi is Simba's mother, and she's my favorite character of the movie. So how you gonna have the king on the shirt? Okay, the Lion King. Don't try to play me, guys. But where's, I know it's not called the Lion Queen, but where is she? Where is she? They're playing games. Like, they left her out on purpose. How you gonna have Nala on there? I mean, she is important, but I don't know. What if a girl wanted to buy this shirt? Like, she only gets one representative when there were more. Anyway, I see y'all, Disney. Y'all got my money this time, but next time, I'm watching. But anyway, I do love the shirt regardless of whether she's on it or not. Anyway, now let's get into the topic of discussion, and that is why I chose veganism, how long I've been vegan, why I'm vegan, how, when, where. No, but seriously. So yeah, let's talk. So I started mid-February 2016. Now, let's start with how I kind of got into it. So I made a friend at work a couple years back, and she was a vegan, and then one of our supervisors was a vegan as well. And for those of you who aren't like in a population that's like really really vegan, they're few and far between. So those were the only two I knew of. And I always knew what veganism was. Like, I knew the definition, like I knew what their diet consisted of, but I never really understood why. Like, I just thought they didn't eat it for health. I don't know. Like, I knew what it like if someone said, "What's the difference between a vegetarian and a vegan?" I was always able to jump in and say, this is the difference. This is what they don't eat, and then versus this is what vegetarians still allow. So I knew what it was from a dietary standpoint, but I did not know all the other stuff behind it. Now, that's where my friend comes into the picture. She explained it to me, and I'm like, oh well, that's cool. That's good. That's really, really good. That's cool. That's very admirable. It's a very admirable thing, and that's awesome. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I thought that was very cool that she did. Over time, we became friends. Well, I already said she's my friend, but anyway, back before we actually really got to know each other, she would give me more information about it, which I never minded. One thing about me, I'm not perfect, but I at least try to have an open mind about things. Of course, I have my biases. I'm a person just like everybody else. We all have biases. If you say you don't, you're lying. We all have biases. But I try to keep an open mind. I really, really do. I think that's really important for humanity to have, and so I always try to keep an open mind. Well, I always try to keep an open mind. And she would explain the ethical part to it, because she's an ethical vegan. She cares about the animals so much so that she will go without if the scenario if the scenario forced her to. And I need a sip of water. But so whenever she would explain it to me, or whenever we would argue, she would always do it from an ethical standpoint. And I found it interesting but kind of annoying that she cared that much about animals, because at the time, see me, I do love animals. I don't love every animal out there, but some of my favorite animals include whales. I love crows, ravens, butterflies. Um, there's a whole bunch of animals. I love animals, and I wouldn't want to see them get hurt. But anyway, um, whenever she explained, I'm like, why do you care so much about chickens, pigs, and cows? Like, I don't understand it. And to make a long story short, um, she got upset with me over a certain point of time, or after a certain point of time, because she said, I want to see you making better choices. I'm your friend. I think you're a really cool person, and I know you could be better. Just step up to the plate. She didn't say step up to the plate. I'm just kind of kind of paraphrasing. It's not hey, better swing, but you can step up to the plate, and I just be the better person that I know you can be. And like like a lot of non-vegans, I got defensive. Well, I like cheese. Like, why can't I have this? She's like, well, it's hurting the animals. I'm like, well, how? I'm not. It's not like I'm eating meat. And at this time, I had stopped. I had stopped eating meat. Actually, let me go back a little bit as far as what I stopped eating. Years back, I stopped drinking milk. Like maybe two and a half. I'm going on 3 years now. I stopped drinking milk because it was affecting my stomach. Not my stomach, but it was affecting. It just made BMs or bathroom trips annoying. They weren't pleasant. I would just feel heavy after drinking cow's milk. So I stopped that on my own without having any outside people tell me that. Um, and then after talking to her, I said, well, I do think babies are probably like the purest creatures on the planet, regardless of human or animal. And why would I eat a baby? So I stopped eating veal, because at where I work, sometimes they have veal for dinner, and veal parmesan. And while I love cheese and pasta, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll stop. I'll stop for the babies. I'll stop for the babies, because, um, yeah. But she was like, wait, you love cheese. Cheese, although you stop drinking milk, cheese still contributes to the suffering of the babies. I'm like, how does it contribute to suffering? Like, what are you talking about? And, she explained it to me. And I'm like, oh. But I still didn't want to give it up. Keep in mind, though, I always had an open mind. And it was always going through my mind, like, this is what's going on when you do this, do some research. So I started getting really big into the vegan community on YouTube. And they were saying the exact same things that she was, and more, and with proof. Not saying she wasn't proving it. She was proving it, trust me. And she would send me links and sources. So yeah, I'm not trying to play her like she was just, possibly sending me lies or something. That's not it. But, excuse me, on YouTube, yeah, I was introduced to Durian Ryder, Freely, Vegan Gains, Unnatural Vegan. Actually, I like her approach. She's very calm. I like her. And Vegan Gains, he's like, imagine us as like pins in a for bowling, and he's the bowling ball. Like, that's what it was. So it was like, but yeah. But they all seemed like very knowledgeable people. So I was hearing it from her, and then I was hearing it from them, and I'm like, is this really that bad to live this way? And I decided, after so many arguments, which I got to give my friend some credit, she put up with a lot of stuff. I was never disrespectful. I never called her out of her name because of it. I never said, well, I'm going to eat 2 cows every time you say one. Like, I was never like that. And actually, after the veal, I dropped meat altogether. So I was actually vegetarian for a while. It was unintentional, but now I think about it, it was vegetarian. I just didn't label myself that way. I didn't really think about it. I just did it. And then eventually, mid-February, I was like, okay, I'll go vegan. So I gave it a try. Part of it was fun, but part of it was also mundane. I like to cook. My mom taught me how to cook, and it was fun. It was fun being creative. Like I always like being creative, but but it did get a little boring with some of the meals. I'm broadening my horizons. I'm trying new things. Um, I'm trying new recipes. I bought some pumpkins, and they're in the back. But yeah. So I tried new things, and it got better. And to keep this Canada story short, in late July, we went to Canada. My family and I felt limited, felt restricted. You know, they bought what they had. I tried to keep it as vegan as possible, but eventually I gave in and had cheese while I was there and had stuff with eggs in it. Um, from that, I fell off the bandwagon for a little bit, just about like maybe a couple weeks to a month. I had fallen off the bandwagon, and yeah, looking back on it, I kind of feel bad, and I wasn't as strong as I thought I was. And and when I did it, I didn't do it for ethical reasons. When I first did it, I did it for health reasons. Um, I had some issues with weight in the past. I was never like your stereotypical, you know, fat person, but I was very pudgy and out of shape. Um, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just do it for my health. Well, obviously, I don't care that much about my health because when I fell off the bandwagon, I had, you know, six cinnamon rolls. And, you know, when you have six cinnamon rolls, how much do you really care about your health? you know? So it's just eating all this cake, you know, everything that has dairy and eggs. And yeah, it wasn't good. And then after talking with my friend, who was upset with me because she was like, you know what's behind it, you know what you're doing, why are you still doing it? And I was like, at first, I'm just like, let me be. I want to get back on the path. I do miss veganism. I really felt like I was making a change, even though I'm one person. And I was like, just give me some time. She was like, but you're still contributing, right? I'm like, yes, I know I'm still contributing. It was a lot more to it than I'm really simplifying uh, what's going on between her and I. But yeah, so on August 13th of 2016, I decided, okay, if I don't care that much about myself, I'll do it for something greater than myself. I'm going to do it for the animals. And also around that time, I decided, which I'm glad I did, I decided to watch the footage of, what goes on with factory farming and behind closed doors with all the industries. And I was like, wow, like I never watched them before. Some YouTubers would insert clips in there, so I had a taste of it, but I never actually went on my own to look and see for myself. And when I did, I was horrified. And I'm not even gonna lie. I don't care if people know this or not. I cried when I saw it. I cried. Um, I didn't cry for the chickens, although don't get me wrong, I felt equally as horrible, and I was shocked and horrified. It was horrendous. Um, but for the cows and even the pigs, and I don't even like pigs. That's an animal I don't care anything for. But I still shed a tear for them. I'm like, this is awful. This is awful. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my selfishness aside and do it for something that's bigger than me. I'm going to go vegan for the animals. And when I went to work shortly after, it was like the next day or the next couple of days. Now, keep in mind, the field I work in, there's a lot of females. There are some men, but there's not that many. They're few and far between. And so when the girls would ask, "Oh, well, why are you vegan?" I would say, I did it for the animals, and I got really like what like, and I know what they were thinking. I know what they were thinking. What does a black man do? What? A man no less. What is a black man doing being vegan? What's wrong with him? And you know what? I didn't give too much of a damn. I didn't. I didn't give. I don't care. I don't care because what's right is what's right, and I'm not gonna let them try to make me feel like less of a man because I don't want to help enslave a species for the sake of some extra on my dinner plate when there's plenty out there to eat already without the pain, the suffering, the hollering, the screaming, the bleeding, the whipping, the lashing, the shooting. Like, I can have a meal and have it be just as delicious without all that. So don't try to attack, um, my personal sense of manhood. That's not cool. And like I said, I didn't give a damn, and I still don't. If you actually, I'll put you on full blast for those of people that I work with, or anyone who tries to make especially a man, who tries to make someone feel like, they're less of a person because they're doing the morally correct thing. They're doing something that's logical. Like, how can you shame me? If anything, I should be shaming you, but that's not the kind of person that I am. Um, so yeah, I told him, and so what? And I continue to tell people too. I do it for the animals. Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm vegan for the animals. Hi, I'm Jordan. Yeah, and you know what? I'm vegan for the animals. That's right, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, there's a penis down there. There is. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. All right. You can't make me feel some type of way about it because I'm secure with myself. I know what I like, and I know right from wrong. I'm still a man. I'm still just as much as one. Before I'm still the same. I'm still me. Nothing has changed. So you're not gonna try to shame me into something. It's ridiculous. It's like, and I know it's not every non-vegan because it wasn't me. I didn't make fun of people for being vegan, especially if it was a man. When a man told me he was vegetarian and he said he loves animals, I didn't make him feel bad for that. I thought that was cool. I mean, now that I know more and I understand what, that vegetarianism is not really the best way to help. Actually, it's not really the way to help at all. No shade, no offense to the vegetarians, but now that I know that. But anyway, before I even knew that, I thought that was cool. I'm not going to shame a man for that. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, try as they might, you're not going to make me feel some type of way for it. So it's the 14th today. So yesterday was a full month of being back on the vegan track. Now I did, like I said, I started in February, and it is now September, so that's 7 months. But that 1 month I fell off the bandwagon, so I've been vegan for about 6 months. They weren't consecutive. It wasn't consecutive, especially mainly because that 1 month. So it wasn't consecutive, but I have been vegan. I am vegan, and I will continue to be. I have the strength. My strength comes from knowing right from wrong. It comes from doing something that's bigger than helping a cause that's bigger than myself. So with that, it's not even about my health anymore. I do care, but not that much. But when it comes to the animals, I care enough to go without if that's the case. Um, so yeah, and something else I want to add in. I know this is so long. Never have I seen a movement with such flawless arguments. Don't get me wrong, there are some holes in veganism. No movement is perfect. But the reason why you shouldn't eat animals versus what people say as to why you should, I mean, there's no comparison. Veganism wins in every way, ethically, environment, why did I have issues saying that word? Environmentally and health. There's just no way. I've never seen a movement that just has such flawless arguments, especially when it comes to supporting the industries as individuals and what we're doing and how the power is truly in our hands. Like, I just never saw that way. I'm like, wow. Like, in my personal opinion, I feel like anyone with a brain and with common sense would just would make the logical decision to eventually become vegan. Hopefully sooner than later. It'll be great. But like I made another video. You know, you have to give people time to process and understand. I needed time to process and understand. And here I am. I'm vegan. It's gonna stay that way. There's gonna have to be some ridiculous reason for me to ever go back to that, to go back to the way I was. So yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. Ooh, yeah, this one's kind of long. But I mean, hey. And hopefully you got something out of it, whether you're vegan or not vegan. If there's something you want to ask me or if there's something you want to tell me, I try to keep an open mind. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And yeah, and here I am today. So I guess I'll close it out with that because it is kind of getting long. Yeah, that's it. Till next time. Oh, Disney. But alright, till next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.